Imagine refusing to sleep among strangers, simply because you trust your own people more. In a world of growing chaos, it seems like the safest choice. You believe that shared blood means shared safety, that common identity creates a sanctuary from the darkness outside, a shelter from the unknown. But that decision becomes the worst mistake of your life. This is not a story about enemies from without. It is a story about the rot within the system. The story comes from the Book of Judges, a period where Israel had no king, no central authority to guide the people's collective conscience. And one chilling line defines the entire era. Everyone did what was right in their own eyes. A society unmoored from truth, drifting into tribal isolation. This isn't chaos by accident. This is moral collapse by choice. A gradual, deliberate erosion of what it means to be God's people in a broken world. A Levite, a spiritual leader, a man of the law, travels with his concubine. They are heading home, seeking a place of rest after a long journey. They represent the religious structure of the time, but the structure is brittle. Safety is an illusion they are about to see shattered. They approach a city called Jebus, but the Levite refuses to enter. He sees the Jebusites as outsiders, dangerous, foreign, and fundamentally untrustworthy. He says, "We will not turn aside into the city of a foreigner. We will go to a city of Israel." He chooses tribal comfort over the unknown. Hey, choose Gibeah, a city within the tribe of Benjamin. They trust their own people more than outsiders. It is a decision rooted in a false sense of security. But here is the uncomfortable truth. Sometimes the greatest danger is not outside the system. It is the rot festering quietly within it. They arrive. And no one welcomes them. No doors open, no voices call out. The silence of the city is the first sign of its spiritual death. They sit in the public square. In ancient culture, this was the center of justice, identity, and communal life. It was where the city's character was revealed. If no one receives you in the square, it means the very heart of the community is broken. Hospitality, once the highest virtue, has been discarded. Moral responsibility has collapsed. The residents see the strangers, but they choose to look away. They are visible, but they are completely abandoned by their kin. The square represents exposure without protection. It is a warning sign of the violence that always follows when empathy is extinguished. Then, an old man appears. He had been working in the fields, away from the city's corruption. He is a sojourner here, not a native of Gibeah. He sees them and asks, "Where are you going?" He recognizes their humanity in a place that has forgotten it. He is a remnant of a truer Israel. He is still aligned with the ancient values of his people. He offers what the holy city would not: a roof, food, and the safety of his presence. In his home, the travelers find a temporary sanctuary. It is a reminder that even in total darkness, there are individuals who refuse to conform. Then, night falls. The safety of the house is about to be tested. The depravity of the city comes knocking at the door. Men from the city surround the home. They are the sons of Belial, men without worth, driven by entitlement and a sense of lawless power. They demand the Levite be brought out. This scene mirrors the horror of Sodom in Genesis. But the terrifying twist is that this is not a pagan land. This is Israel. These are the descendants of Abraham. They carry the name of God, but their actions are indistinguishable from the very people they were meant to be different from. The Levite, the protector and spiritual shepherd, faces a moment of ultimate trial. And in his fear, he reveals the depth of his own moral collapse. He sends out his concubine. He sacrifices her to the mob to save his own skin. The shepherd betrays the lamb in the heart of the promised land. She is abused all night. A night of unspeakable cruelty that exposes the hollow core of a community that has lost its moral compass. By morning, She collapses at the door. Her strength is spent. Her life is flickering out under the rising sun of a city that does not care. The Levite opens the door and simply says, "Get up. Let's go." No empathy, no grief. Just the cold calculation of a man who has lost his soul. There is no response. The silence is deafening. She is dead. Justice has been silenced in a city that claimed to be the light of the world. This is the real horror. Not just the violence, but the total moral inversion of a people who were called to be holy, but became worse than the world around them. The outsiders, the foreigners, were actually safer than God's people. Let that sink in. Identity without obedience is just a mask for deep corruption. The system failed. The spiritual leader failed. The community failed. When the protectors become the predators, the society is already dead. Remember the public square? That moment was the true warning. The danger was already there before the first hand was raised in violence. Because when a society stops seeing strangers and protecting the vulnerable, it has already collapsed internally. The violence was just the final symptom. This story is a disturbing reminder. Being God's people guarantees nothing. Identity without a life that reflects it leads to a darkness deeper than any pagan world. So where do you feel safer? Among those who claim the truth or those who actually live it? This story is not ancient history. It is a mirror held up to us today. The most dangerous place to be is inside a system that looks right, but has lost its soul. Are we living the truth, or just wearing the label like a shroud? The silence of Gibeah still speaks to us today. It asks us if we are truly seeing those in need, or if we are hiding behind our own walls of identity. Thank you for watching. If this story moved you, subscribe for more untold Bible stories as we explore the deepest corners of history and the human soul. Stay tuned for our next exploration into the untold and the profound. Until then, walk in the light of truth, not just its name.